BJ up in the booth. Give it up, give it up. We got a great crowd. Oh my God, it's like that movie 50 Shades of Grey. I love that. I want to say hello to some friends of mine from Tucson, Arizona. The Riescos. Give them a big round of applause coming all the way up from Tucson. And their friend Willis, who's here to see me tonight. All right, well, let's get this party started. If you're drinking, raise your glasses. Let me see them. Raise your glasses up high. Drink up for me, because the doctor made me quit. He said I was drinking too much. I went in for a physical, found out my blood type was Jack Daniels. I haven't been to a liquor store in 3 months. He put out a silver alert for me. Bless their hearts. Well, we were partying all day today with my brother. He's been a trucker his whole life. He used to drive the big rigs. And he quit to collect Social Security. Now he's semi-retired. Don't do that. You're going to tell that on the golf course tomorrow, what? Well, I got to tell you on a sad note, I just got dumped by a girl I've known since the 7th grade. Oh, let's try this again. Come on, a little love, folks, a little love. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. I got to tell you on a sad note, I just got dumped by a girl I've known since the 7th grade. She's in the 8th grade now, but we're still friends. Pedophile jokes, that's what you want? Okay. My MC stuff is going to go over real well tonight, all right. Well, I love doing comedy. I get to tour all over the place. Just came back from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anybody from Milwaukee? Yeah, back here? Okay, you may know this. Anybody, do you know who was famous from Milwaukee? Jeffrey Dahmer. And I saw the Netflix special about 6 months ago when I booked the gig. I was excited. I came up a day early. They picked me up at the airport. The guy says, hey, the gig's not till tomorrow. What do you want to see? We got beer gardens. We got nice restaurants. I said, take me by where Jeffrey Dahmer lives. I want to see where he lives. He says, can't, because when all that craziness happened in the 90s, the landlord bulldozed the building. Am I right? He tore it down, right? Yeah, tore it. It's nothing there. And I was bummed. I said, oh, man. He said, but check it out. He kept the refrigerator where Jeffrey Dahmer had all the body parts. Yeah, and he's selling it on eBay to the highest bidder. Can you believe that? Then he asked me, do you want to buy it? I said, hell no. Probably cost an arm and a leg. Oh man, I've been getting bombarded by a grip of emails from a site called ChristianSingles.com. Have you heard of them? Join ChristianSingles.com. Find the love of your life, ChristianSingles.com. I was getting 8 or 9 emails a day. I got sick of it. So as a joke, I decided to join. I signed up as Satan. They paired me up with my ex-wife. You believe that? She may have been the devil, but I miss her Beelzebub. That's all I'm saying. I've been getting in trouble with my new wife. We got in a big fight a couple nights ago, and it was just because I think like a man. Like I think like a guy. Okay, so here we were in bed watching the newscast. And there was a guy, I don't know if you saw this, a guy in California killed his wife and then skipped back to Peru. And he would have gotten away with it had the neighbor's surveillance camera hadn't caught him dragging something heavy, a big plastic bag, across the rocks and sidewalk and gravel and all that. And my wife is saying, are you seeing this? Are you watching? This is horrendous. Oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm looking at it and saying, did they say where you got those bags? That's the man in me. Oh, you're sick. I can't believe you're saying that. I can't believe it. No, honey, it's just that I have had bags explode on me just pulling them out of the trash can. If those are on Amazon, I want to say. I spent the last 2 days on the couch, so.
I wonder why.
Oh, yeah. That month, I had COVID for the 5th time a month and a half ago. 5th time, 5 times. And I had all my inoculations up to date, so I only had COVID for 5 or 6 days, but I had a lingering cough for 3 weeks, 3 long weeks. You know what the cough I'm talking about. Wakes you up in the middle of the night, can't go back to sleep, and you're hacking up the lung. 3 weeks of that. I was irritable. It just was not nice to be around. Finally got sick of it in the middle of the night. I stumbled to the bathroom. It was dark. I opened up the medicine cabinet and I chugged what I thought was a cough syrup. Turned out to be a laxative. Hey, but it cured me. There was no more hacking. It cured my hacking. Because the rest of that night I was afraid to cough. Well, they introduced me as a school teacher. I don't know if you heard that. Any school teachers in the crowd? How about a big round of applause, huh? You don't know. We're like the in-band bench. You don't know. You were there. That's us, man. What it is I'm a lifelong learner. Teachers become lifelong learners. We like to learn little tidbits of information just to know, so we can brag about at parties. Like I was reading on Facebook. That must be true, huh? That women, when they engage in oral sex, their body releases a hormone that burns fat. Have you heard about it? I mean, that's a true fact. No, that's true. That is true. And there I was at the gym, innocently trying to educate the gorditas, and I get banned for life. Can you believe that? Because if that little tidbit of information is true, that means that every man now gets to be the trainer in their own bedroom. Come on, honey. You got one set down, you got 2 more sets. About 30 minutes apart, apparently. But I'll wait for you. I'm here for you. They also said on Facebook that couples who do it doggy style for 4 minutes, it's equivalent to running 4 miles. I kid you not. 4 minutes of doggy styles equal 4 miles. The problem is, men only make it less than 2 minutes, and that's why we're all still fat asses. Right? Well, it's great to be here. It's great to be out of the heat in Tucson. The schools will tell you what that's like. It gets hot in Tucson. It gets so hot they say you can fry your eggs right there on the sidewalk. And I had to know because I sat out there naked. They did a number on my chorizo too, let me tell you. I had eggs Benedict, that's all I'm saying. And it's a dry heat, man. It's a dry heat till the monsoons come. Then the monsoons come, everything's muddy and sticky and everything. Inside of my thigh started chafing. I got a little rash. So I was looking all over the house for talcum powder. Couldn't find any talcum powder. The closest I got was a box of Bisquick in the cupboard. But I was desperate, so I poured some down my short. An hour later, I had pan de huevo. With a little cordito on the side like that. And it was hot, man. The East Coast was complaining about a month ago about having a heat wave. 101, ooh. 102, oh, it's so hot. Oh. Phoenix and Tucson gets 115, 117. They don't know hot. You don't know hot till your pubic hair starts sizzling like pine needles in a campfire. That's hot. And I teach in a school right now, a little Hispanic school on the south side, and we're going through a little heat wave. Now the school started again, and we had to have an emergency faculty meeting because the ACs are shutting down. And so everybody's complaining about the ACs and the cross-country club, the cross-country team coach is over there, he's mad. He can see him fuming, I'm watching him. And finally he snaps, and he jumps up and says, you guys are complaining about the inside, how do I get my kids to run in this heat? You tell me, how do I get them to train in this heat? I said, I haven't suggested coach. What you do is tie a big rope around a big bag of ice and loop it through the belt, have them run, drag them behind them, because if they think ice is chasing them. Hey, forget you guys, I'm Mexican, I think that's funny. But I love hot, man, when it comes to food, like salsa, ooh, man. The hotter the better. Pico de gallo, pico de culo, I will eat all that shit. My mom made a hot salsa. Ask me how hot was it? Every time you farted, the AC kicked on. You can tell how hot the salsa was by how cold the room got, man. That was great. I love Mexican food. I love any kind of food except for Chinese food. It's really weird. I don't know if I had a bad experience or what, but I love Chinese women. Asian women, I think, are the good. I've dated like 4 Chinese women in my lifetime. And they always broke up with me. I was in love. They always broke up with me because they wanted me to have oral sex. And I couldn't do that because I get gassy when I eat Chinese. Plus, I'm hungry a half hour later. I can't do my next joke because it has a cuss word in it. I promised BJ I wouldn't go there. But I will tell you about this sandwich shop they know about. There's a sandwich shop in Tucson that has the best sandwich in the world, but I don't know what the name of it is for the longest time. It has a double door. One side has a buffalo. The other side has a witch on a broom.
I feel like this.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Buffalo witches, buffalo. My wife says it's a play on words. Bison witches. Bison witches. But yeah, it's dumb as my ex-wife, I'm telling you. But the sandwiches are to die for. They're the bomb. I mean, the toasted cheese, something as simple as grilled cheese is great. And they serve you regular chips. You can have plain chips. You can have barbecue chips. My favorite are the jalapeno chips. My wife, you like the jalapeno chips? Without fail, my wife always orders the salt and vinegar flavored chips. Salt and vinegar. That's not a flavor, that's a douche, right? She might as well grab that big red rubber bag and her nana has hanging in the shower. Put the shit in there. Riesco's going to tell my wife I'm in so much trouble. Oh man, we have a new addition to the family. Any dog lovers? Dog lovers, clap your hands. We got a new puppy. We got it's a new dog to keep company or keep our old dog company because our older dog lost its mate about 3-4 years ago. And now she's getting fat, lying around the house. And so we couldn't get a puppy. We couldn't get a puppy because there's 2 rambunctious. Couldn't get an older dog because then that's 2 fat asses lying around the house. 3 if you include me. So we got our dog about 2.5 years old. Still got some pup in him. But what's funny is this pup won't share. He's stingy. He won't share his toys, his snacks. He growls at the other dog when he gets close to his water bowl or his dish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Doberman Pinchy. Because it is pretty peachy. Does everybody understand Spanish? Because that shit was funny. But it's gotten really used to us. My wife and I, we were watching TV on the sofa the other day and we could hear him falling asleep. He was purring. He was purring, snoring. It was so cool. And then all of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, we thought he was having a nightmare. Because he started making noises equivalent to the Tasmanian Devil from the Looney Tunes cartoon. You know what I mean? We look down and he's going to town on his gonads, just licking and slurping. My wife starts laughing. She said, "You think you can do that?" I said, "Hell no, I'd probably bite me." I'm going to tell you this story, and I don't know how funny it is, but it's hilarious to me. We live out on an acre, and anybody who lives out on an acre or during monsoon season, you know that weeds come up. You have 3-foot weeds overnight like that. And I didn't know it, but the folks in the neighborhood that have big acre lots like that, they wait till the end of monsoon season. You may know this if you have big acreage. They tie up a chain link fence to a truck, and they basically mow the lawn with a truck. And it kills everything. And I'm out there trying to pull weeds like a Mexican. Like I'm Pinchy Cesar Chavez himself. Well, the neighbor next door, we share a fence. He's got a little ranchito. He's got horses and he's got goats and chickens. He comes out, I haven't met him yet. And he sees me, he says, "Hey neighbor, why don't you come get one of my goats to eat all this stuff for you?" And I'm looking at him, I don't know nothing about goats. And he says, "Yeah, look, the horses and the goats, they eat them. Look how clean my yard is. You're working too hard. Come get a goat and you go inside and watch TV." And I thought, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I walk inside, I grab the dog's leash and collar, and my wife says, where are you going? I said, I'm going to get a goat. And so I brought it back, and I was excited because I thought it'd be nice. They clean up the yard, and you know, I have a little goat's milk in the morning with my cafecito. Oh, that's going to be nice. So the next morning I woke up early, I got a little pail, I got a little stool, I went out there, and 40 seconds into the milking, I found out it was a billy. It was a billy goat, can you believe that? And I mean, it was following me around all day like we were dating, it was crazy. Most goats go, this one's going, yes, yes. My wife was collapsed in a chair, just busting over laughing when I was telling her that story. But when she gained her composure, she said, you have to be careful with goats. And I said, why is that? She says, well, and anybody clap your hands if you know, have some experience with goats. Anybody? All right, so you know this. There's a certain breed of goat that faints, and it faints for no reason. It just faints. You think it had a heart attack, and it faints. She says, this goat, this breed of goat, is known for masturbating itself with its mouth, holding the semen in its mouth all day, and when you pass by, it flings it at you with its head. And I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking, who did I marry? I said, how do you know so much about goats? She said, David, remember I told you that half a dozen times I grew up on my tata's ranch. I took care of the goats, he took care of the bulls. And the conversation starts getting more and more interesting. What do you mean when you say you took care of the goats? What does that mean? I used to castrate the goats. My tata castrated the bulls. And I had to ask, how do you castrate a goat? You get a piece of string and you tie it around their testicles as tight as you can, and after 3 days they just fall off. And then she nonchalantly went to go make dinner. And I'm looking at her like, oh my God, who did I marry? Jeez, I was in shock. I mean, that was a disgusting conversation. I was done. I took the goat back to the neighbors, and from that moment on, that night on, I was nervous. Every time I saw her reach for the dental floss, hell no! Who's it? I started sleeping with a knife by the bed. Oh man, I didn't know what she was capable of. You guys enjoy yourselves? My wife, she thinks she's funny. She does. She thinks she's funny. So the other night, she was half asleep. You know what that's like, and I was feeling frisky. So I was nudging up on her, you know, trying to get her to wake up a little bit. She make some love to me. She said she was too tired to make love. Too tired to make love. She says, go ahead and have Star Wars sex. Star Wars sex, what's that? She said, you know, Han Solo. I didn't even get a little Chewbacca out of this thing. And she's a snorer. Oh my God, she's a snorer. Clap your hands if you have a spouse that has sleep apnea. Anybody? I want to see. Yes. You know my pain. You know, oh my wife snores so loud the neighbors come over to complain. I mean, it's bad. And you know, if you have sleep apnea, she's never been diagnosed. But you can tell by the sleep snoring pattern. It's like... all night long, it's like that. But you know what? I'll tell you what. As bad as she snores, as scary as it is that she snores, nothing is scarier than the sound of her not snoring. Am I right? Can you agree with that? Yeah. Yeah, the sound of her not snoring. Sometimes I gotta pull the pillow off her face and check her pulse. Make sure I didn't take it too far. You know what she does now that really pisses me off, and this pisses me off? She'll ask me a question and then leave the room before I can answer it. It drives me nuts. Is that happening? Clap your hands, guys. Is that anyone? Yeah, everyone's okay. So it's not just me. The other day I was sitting down, I was watching a baseball game, and when we watch TV, men watch TV, we're zoned. We're zoned in. It's like we're sitting right there in the batter's box, just with the team. She comes in, she says, "Hey, how was your doctor's appointment?" Huh? What? And I'm thinking, I had a couple, which one is she talking about? And I look up to answer, she's gone, "Oh, hell no. Oh, hell." I throw around the hallway. "The doctor said I should be able to sleep in as long as I want. Have breakfast ready for me the minute I wake up. Have a woman at my beck and call, and be tucked in at night." So she put me in a nursing home. Shut up, I gotta be back by 11 tonight. What's funny is, ever since we got married, she's made a habit of, she goes to my dresser every night, and she pulls out, she doesn't wear pajamas, a nightgown or anything, she pulls out one of my t-shirts. And she'll wear it for a week or 2 weeks to sleep in. And you know, I think it's kind of cute. She says she wants to feel me on her. I said, "Well, let me get on you." She says, "No, I just want to feel you on me." And so she gives them back. When I get them back, they always have the chi-chi stretch mark. And now I fit in them bastards. It sucks. It sucks getting old, man. It sucks. I'm telling you, I'm at the age where acid reflux is a flavor. Your body changes, man. I used to be buff, and now I'm buffet. Got no bladder control. I dribble more than the Harlem Globetrotters. That's all I'm saying. Alzheimer's. I don't want that Alzheimer's. Don't want it. Had an uncle who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Just before he was diagnosed, he came over to the house to borrow $1,000. He was my uncle. I loaned it to him. $1,000. Don't remember. On the plus side, I've been able to collect 3 times. Trying every diet out there, imaginable, every diet you can imagine. I had a girl that I used to work with, she used to eat and make herself throw up. What is that called? Bulimia? Is that it? She said, "I couldn't do that." She said, "I'm not going to do that." She said, "Try this. You lose weight if you eat naked in front of a mirror." So I tried that, and the mirror threw up. But I got to lose weight because the doctor said I have diabetes. I got diabetes now, and so yeah, that sucks. I was bummed out. I said, "How bad is it?" He said, just got to watch your A1C. "How bad is it now?" He said, "Right now it's A1 sauce." But you know, it shouldn't surprise me because diabetes runs in my family. You know, my siblings have it, my cousins have it. I had cousins that lost a toe or lost an eye or got blind. I had a cousin last year got his whole left side, from his thigh all the way down to his foot, had it amputated due to diabetes. Yeah, that was a year ago. I mean, he's still alive, but he's on his last leg. Anyway. That was funny. I don't care what your pronoun is. You know, so I was doing everything I could to lose weight. I was just dieting left and right, and finally my wife helped me. I lost some weight. She put me on a high protein, no carb diet. You know, but by then I was miserable. I was whiny. I was just irritable. She caught me in the closet eating a bag of Doritos. She got pissed off. "I'm done with you. I am done. No more. I don't care. You want to cheat, cheat. I'm not going to help you with this diet. Cheat if you want." I never thought cheating was an option. And everything was fine and dandy until I brought my girlfriend home, and then all hell broke loose. But you know what? I got to tell you that I do think that the women are the stronger sex. In fact, I know that. I know that for a fact. Because women will diet and exercise and diet and exercise and diet and exercise and never complain. And we're the ones that jack their body up. You know, all the babies, all the kids that they have there, they know their body's never going to go back to normal. You know, they know that. How about a big round of applause for the ladies in here? Yes! Yes! I think there's a certain age, though, that women should stop having kids because not only it's a health risk, but just because. gave birth at 52. Her milk came in as cottage cheese. The only way we could get the baby to eat if there was a side of peaches on a bed of lettuce. It's something to wash it down with. I can't believe I did that joke. Oh, man. So, and I used to exercise a lot. I was in karate, I got a brown belt in karate, I got a brown belt in Kodokan and judo. And in fact, when I was in karate, it was my younger days, and I used to have to buy a jock strap and cup. And I had done that since Little League, Back then, little boys' cups, they're small. Men's cup, gargantuan. This thing was huge. It was huge. I took it home, my son started using it as a bicycle helmet. There were 3 holes on the bottom. I got my swag, I tried to strain spaghetti with it. Don't use that swag now. I remember after a hard workout, I threw it on the couch. My dad mistook it for his oxygen mask. 3 weeks later, he was still complaining and everything smelled like wet Cheetos. Can I do some songs for you guys before I get out of here? Yeah! I was playing guitar for ever since I was a kid. It's because my dads and my uncles used to always, in rest school, a bunch of this. We're known for Hispanic families will light a campfire outside and just start singing. It's midnight. I grab my guitar, I go out there to sing with them, and I'm singing right with them. And I can see a tear start to welt up in my dad's eye. I said, Dad, you all right? Yeah, I'm going fine. What's the matter, Dad? You can't sing with the shit anymore. But he was notorious for, we tried to beg him, the kids would try to beg him to sing nursery rhymes for us. And, go to sleep, just go to sleep. Dad, come on, one nursery rhyme, something. Okay, all right, let me see. He was notorious for never learning the right words. 1 little, 2 little, no, that's wrong, I can't do that. Oops! Shut up, that wasn't supposed to be in the set. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb till they had a barbecue. Okay, dirty or clean? What do you want? Dirty. Dirty, okay. I dedicate this to my ex-wife because she was a sex fiend. She was, I swear. Her idea of foreplay was inviting 3 other guys. I'm just saying. But she used to love to dress up for me like a cheerleader, like a maid, or like a border patrol lady. No, that's So honey, when I said let's play doctor, I didn't know you'd be such a freak. You insisted on playing a proctologist, now I'll be sore for about a week. Now your dress-up games, they seem all the same. They all suck just like a vacuum cleaner. But tonight, let's play hot dog so your buns can hug my wiener. Now, wieners are kind of a funny thing. You see, they can be big or little. They can be short, fat, skinny, pretty, ugly, or crooked as hell. Some even come with cheese in the middle. Now, last night you danced with a tutu on, about as graceful as a ballerina. But tonight, let's play hot dog so your buns can hug my wiener. Let's play hot dog so your buns can hug my wiener. A little sauerkraut sprinkled all about. Hell, it can even be a chili meter. It ain't a chicken frank or a turkey frank, but I guarantee there's nothing leaner. So let's play hot dog so your buns can hug my wiener. Sing along. Let's play hot dog so your buns can hug my wiener. Thank you. I'm going to get out here with a quick little song. And then introduce your headline and see what I want to do. Okay, this one is dedicated to my wife, my new wife, because my first, like I told you, I loved her, but I was a foodie, so I love food. So I I like burgers, so I married a Whopper. Her wedding band was an onion ring. When we made love, well, nothing could stop her. She made my little wiener schnitzel sing. She moved her body like a malted shake. She made my Whataburger grow into a Philly steak. She had French fries, finger and a Big Mac attack. She looked at my fat ass and saw a jumbo jack. A big Wendy's smile, that's how